As you enter the cinema with a bag of popcorn and a drink in hand, you find you've placed them on the rows of seat, checking your phone is on silent and making sure you are comfy for the duration of the film. These are just a few things that may go through your head whilst going to the cinema. As soon as you're in your place, that's when the thinking can stop and the enjoyment can begin. However, this isn't the case for everyone, is it? Some people don't have the luxury of hearing and may be put off because there's no way of understanding a movie they can't hear. But as you might be aware, showings with subtitles and closed captions are available, making the viewing of the film more enjoyable and possible for people. Now, this video is about how dubbed anime could help the anime industry and community. So why talk about subtitles and closed captions in the cinema, and how some people have difficulties hearing rely on them to be able to enjoy the art of film? In short, the accessibility of films allowed people who were ostracized from the cinema to be able to enjoy the films. So why would we view this any differently when it comes to anime? And this is in essence the point of the video that I will be explaining. When I first heard of anime, I only knew it to be subbed from Japanese, and this really put me off the idea of watching this new world of media. There's no thought on this weird yet interesting looking media to be anything other than in Japanese. So being a young boy, I stayed clear of it right until about 18 years old when I found Funimation. Say what you will about the company, but it introduced dubbed anime to me and has made me invested in the media enough that I am now making YouTube videos about it. The idea of dubbed anything got a lot of bad press over YouTube. I remember seeing a lot of the sub versus dub debate videos cased all over anime YouTube, and most of it felt gatekeeping and shaming people for enjoying anime. Obviously this was not the case for everyone, but enough of a bad rap that if you said you watched dubbed anime, people would turn and say you're not a real fan of the show or a real anime watcher. Now I don't need to be the one telling you bad takes on the internet is like fan service in an ecchi show. Happens too much, but you get what you watch. However, I did want to touch lightly on these comments and hopefully switch to a more positive spin to look at dubbed anime, and how simply dubbing more anime could even help the people who don't watch anime dubbed. Now I could go point by point in response to the claims of the people who have made the sub versus dub debate, but I think it's rather pointless. I would much rather talk about my experience with dubbed anime and why we as anime lovers should be more inclusive. Right off the bat, I will happily admit that dubbed anime can have bad voice actors at times. But to think that I am not a loyal anime watcher due to my viewing the dubbed version of an anime is crazy to me. I find reading really challenging. I think it's hard enough to read and watch at the same time for anyone. But add being dyslexic, I can tell you firsthand, I either watch it at 75 speed or I don't even bother to read the subtitles. Now, I can tell that there'll be people thinking, well okay, if you find it hard to read, dub is fine, but if you're capable of reading and watching, then you really should watch the sub. And I may not disagree with this completely. I also do find that kind of attitude weird. It brings me back to the whole gatekeeping, that due to the fact that it's sub, then it has to be better than dub. As we all know that the sub is just better than the dub. We all know that, right? Right? Well, here's the thing. Anime as it stands already has a barrier of entry. We as anime viewers may be very used to all the tropes and what anime may throw at us. But for someone who has never watched it and suddenly they are welcomed by all of this, the sub may just be the small thing to push them over the edge and not enjoy anime. And that's the last thing we want as anime viewers. I know the anime community are gatekeeping Garys, but think of it like this. The bigger anime gets, the higher chance we as a community will get more anime. The more niche the media, the likelier of a lack of content. Now obviously I'm speculating here as I cannot tell what the anime industry will do. However, I don't think it's too dumb to say that the more popular any media gets, the more widespread it gets in the mainstream. Not long ago, YouTubers were shrugged away as nobodies, and now everyone and their dog wants to be one. And mainstream outlets want them on, or use YouTube themselves. And the way I look at it is the fact that places like Netflix having an anime tab is an introduction that the more popular this media gets, the more likely we will see the mainstream services investing in it. And this ties in with dubbed anime due to the fact that the first step to a successful media is getting it into people's homes. The second step is for them to click the show, and the last step is for them to enjoy and want more. Dubbed anime to me could help with the last two. I've experienced this firsthand over the pandemic. I and my parents parents watched the Studio Ghibli films dubbed, and I'll tell you firsthand they would not watched it subbed, but after the first one they said they wouldn't mind watching another. We even watched the Gantz Z film. Now I'm not saying everyone will rush to anime just because it's dubbed, but rather the more accessible you allow your media to be, the higher the chance that people who wouldn't have come then be able to be a part of the media. This reminds me of the whole RSPC phrase, if you build it, they'll come. But let me add my own phrase to it. If you dub it, they'll watch. Imagine the amount of good dubbed anime could do. To me, it is only positive things. We get more people becoming anime watchers. The more people who want anime, the more chance more studios will make anime. And at the end of the day, don't we want more anime? Moreover, we as dub viewers want better dubbed. When I hear people say the dubs are bad, it's not those comments that get to me. It's the follow-up and the tone. The fact that because they are bad, then they shouldn't be there. And this is what really made me want to make this video. The fact that in my eyes, if you think dubs shouldn't exist, or you think dub is bad because it's dubbed, then I really want to get a few things over to you. When you say dubbed is bad, do you ever think why it's bad? The obvious answer is the companies who make it either don't care or don't have the money or time when it comes to dubbing the show. These things may be true, but I also think that it's a chicken and egg type deal where the industry needs to take a massive risk and dub every show hoping there will be a demand for it, or do we as a community need to make the demand so massive that it would be a massive wasted opportunity for the companies not to dub the shows? I don't think I can answer that one, but I do think whenever there is more accessibility in anything, it creates a better space that comes with the benefits of more people enjoying whatever has just been made more accessible. Also, the more popular dubbing gets, I think it's fair to say that the more money will be spent on it, and this will dramatically increase the quality of the dubs, not in only voice actors but also translations, as there has been a few shows that the dub is less accurate than the sub. Yes, I do hear a lot of the same voice actors. Yes, sometimes the voice actors are not so good. Yes, the selection of anime that has dubs is low and the selection of great dubbed anime is even lower. But overall, these things can change very easily with time. I think it's good to say what I mean by everything I have said, as I don't want to come off the wrong way. I love anime, and I've always tried to get my friends into it. I bought the Vinland Saga manga for my friend's birthday. I made my flatmate at uni watch Defrag with me, and another uni mate watch Seven Deadly Sins, which, looking back at it, was a bad idea. But the point is, I want anime to be at its very best, mainly because it has filled a void in me when I was feeling very alone. And yes, anime has its problems, but I will firmly say that the media is something that I want other people to experience and enjoy. I want people to nerd out over their favourite show and passionately say who best girl is. I want more diversity in the space, to the point where when someone says, yeah, I watch anime, it doesn't conjure up images of a smelly guy with a katana that Naruto runs and has an encrypted and password protected hard drive that he adamantly proclaims is for his privacy but always sweats while saying it. Either way, I don't think dubbed anime will 100% create what I want. Regardless of what the title suggests, I do think it will be a part of it though. And that's my point. I want there to be more dubbed anime, as there have been shows that I've always wanted to watch but can't as it's only in sub. And as an anime fan, I don't want to be left out and see people talking about a show that I can't watch. Regardless if you only watch sub and have no interest in even watching dubbed anime, don't you think you could more easily convince a friend to watch something without subtitles than with them? Either way, I just wanted to add my little old voice to the convo. Overall, I want to know what you think. Are you a sub watcher? Are you a dub watcher? And what do you think about what I said? Also, if for some reason you have never watched anime and you've stumbled upon this video and made it this far, would you watch anime if it was dubbed? And if so, tell me why in the comments. I'd like to know everyone's thoughts. Either way, thank you very much for watching and cheers.